Hi everybody, it's Andrew Gray, founder of Truth Legal Solicitors here. I'm walking to work today in April, about a week before some major changes in the personal injury world come into play. And I've been reading about them today and musing about them on my beautiful walk in splendid Harrogate, here walking across the Stray, which is this hundreds of acres of beautiful green grass in the heart of this fantastic town where I live and where we work. But as happy as I am to be surrounded by such an environment, I am boiling with rage inside as to these changes that are coming in. And when you learn about them too, guys, you'll also be mad. The changes that come in May, should have come in last year, in fact. And essentially these are that if you're injured in a car accident, and hundreds of thousands of people, if not maybe 1.2 million-ish people are injured in car accidents in the UK every year. If you're injured in a car accident and you're inside a car, which is normally where the injuries take place rather than being injured by the car, like a pedestrian or a cyclist would be. If you're injured inside the car and your claim is worth under £5,000, which is going to be something like 90% of the injuries that happen to people, or the value of their injuries, then as from the 1st of May, you can't get a lawyer. You have to battle against the insurance companies on your own. I find that so difficult to comprehend. I've been dealing with personal injury law since 2005, so what's that, 16 years of this. And I've seen claims under £5,000 and they're incredibly complicated. People going through these things have had car accidents, and car accidents are grim. I've been in one, I remember it well. I remember the smell, I remember the noise, the bang. It's scary, it stays with you forever. You know, that feeling. And if you hit from behind, you're often always looking in the rear view mirror thinking, I'm going to get smacked in a second. But anyway, as from May, you can't get a lawyer, and then the value of your claim plummets, absolutely falls off a cliff. I suspect the value of the injuries claims will reduce by something like 70%. So maybe what was a £5,000 claim, maybe it's down to like £1,800. What was a £1,500 is down to £300. And this naff, silly, insensitive, illogical tariff system where you look down tariffs to see what your injuries are like, but people aren't like that. We're all unique. How an injury impacts us is different per person. And what is also strange is, in a personal injury world, where, to evidence your injuries, you need a medical report, which makes sense. You need to get a doctor to say what your injuries are, and the doctor examines you and will say, you know, maybe you've got whiplash, where the whiplash is, or with psychological injuries, what they are, and maybe if you see orthopedics or neurology or neurosurgery or whatever it may be. These experts will notice these things and write them on the report, and it's from those reports you can get treatment from your own doctors, and the valuation of your claim can be set. It all flows from that. Now, us lawyers, we lawyers, we are used to instructing experts, and I have the pleasure of teaching doctors on how to be medical legal experts, as we call them. But as for May, individuals are on their own. They're going to have to instruct doctors on their own. Now, I'm not sure any doctor would want to take instructions directly from an individual. But how is an individual going to understand that the doctor is writing reports, yes, for them, and they're going to spend hundreds of pounds on this report system, but how is the individual going to properly get that the doctor is writing a report for the court? They're not doing it for the individual exactly, the individual's paying for it. So the duty is to the court. The doctor isn't going to write exactly what the individual wants them to write. Of course not. That would be silly. That's not what happens now. But from May, what will happen to the instructions? My guess is that a lot of doctors will refuse to take on instructions. My guess is that lots of individuals who are significantly injured, and a £5,000 injury claim is a big one, I think a lot of people will just give up. The insurers will still have their lawyers. The insurers are slick. I don't dislike insurers, far from it. They're an important function in our society. But they will know what they're doing, and they'll be up against people who are scared, they're injured, they're dealing with the legal system for the first time. People are going to settle their claims for next to nothing, and it could be that these claims, which were worth £5,000, actually could be worth a lot more. So we're going to see vast numbers of undersettled claims. And you think, well, so what, insurance premiums will fall? Well, did all insurance premiums fall during COVID when there was almost no cars on the road? No. Some insurers, I think Admiral's one of them, repaid some car premium, and good on them. And there'll be others that did it as well. But very many insurers, the premiums didn't fall down. In fact, when we went to renew our car insurance for a car which is obviously a year older, the car insurance with the same insurers, without any claims, with very few miles, has gone up, even though the number of claims has fallen down. So the market doesn't function as it should. There's no guarantee the insurers will put the saving back onto policyholders. It makes no sense to me. It's an attack on access to justice. It's an attack on the legal system. It's an attack on you as individuals. I mean, I'd like to live in a world, frankly, without the need for lawyers. So in some respects, I do support the simplification of law, but I don't support something where people's right to compensation has just been unnecessarily unfairly cut. Now, no one really knows about this because everybody's obsessed with COVID, understandably, and you're only really going to care if it impacts upon you. But I say millions of people over the last however many years have had car accidents, genuine car accidents, suffered genuine injuries, and still be injured to this day. And to remove people's rights to compensation, or at least to significantly limit it, is just appalling. I've never seen anything more disgusting in my time as a lawyer, and I've seen some pretty awful things. Employment tribunal fees, the decimation of legal aid. But this one is the worst of the lot. I'll give you an example as to how absurd it is. If you, for example, have a car accident and your injuries, let's say, are worth £4,500, which is a significant injury. Let's just say it's worth at that level. And now you can have a lawyer, and as from May, essentially you can't, and the value of the case collapses. But if you have exactly the same injuries, and the injuries are caused by the car hitting you as a pedestrian, or as a cyclist, or what have you, then the pedestrian and cyclist can make those claims. They'll receive £4,500, and they will have access to a lawyer. But exactly the same injuries caused inside the car means no lawyer, and reduction in the value of the claim. That, ladies and gentlemen, is bonkers. I suggest that everybody writes to their MPs and even put petitions on the House of Commons website, because this is an appalling attack on you all. So I'm sorry to be so ranty, but I do get angry when I see things which are just simply unfair, illogical, and bonkers. I can't imagine any other countries going down such a silly route. There we are, that's my 2 pence for the day. I'm back to work. Bye bye.